Yo, let's get into part 2 of this Mars-Uranus mashup in Gemini. As I'm recording this second part, the moon is in the sign of Pisces, which is very fitting for what I would like to cover. Because after I did the last video, I realized that I glazed over some things here that the Five of Wands was wanting to discuss. And that, yes, it's change, and yes, it's a fire Saturn. But it's speaking to movement here, so that this Mercury in Cancer that is retrograde is speaking to reparenting oneself. Reviewing our self-talk, our choices, and how those choices create action, and are these actions nurturing? Paying more attention to our pacing and where we're paying our time and attention. So with Mercury in retrograde happening under this Mars-Uranus mashup with this Pisces moon, right? Like, and especially Jupiter being in Leo, the nodes getting ready to switch to Aquarius North Node and Leo South Node. Some of the nurturing and reparenting that wants to be reviewed is movement itself. And how I was discussing in the last video, that there is so much dryness and so much heat here happening currently, that another way that happens to cost nothing, by the way, to hydrate oneself is through taking nurturing action, and not just drinking more water, but moving more with intention. And that perhaps maybe even we might be finding ourselves reviewing certain things that we've always been curious about, or maybe something that we've done in our past in regards to mindful movements, or anything that's intentional, anything that can move the fascia, because that is very much the territory of Saturn. Saturn in Aries, or this is the Saturn in Leo card, but you get what I'm saying. It's a fire Saturn. Saturn speaks to all connective tissue. The fire speaks to muscles. So this is speaking to the kind of movement that helps to move the fascia, which then in turn helps to move old stagnant emotions that have built up in the body from our own experiences and the backlogs of our ancestors as well. But then also that fascia houses our immune system. That's also a Piscean territory. And underneath this mashup of Mars and Uranus, these electric pulses that are going through our body might be showing us where in the body some of these things want to be moved, where they have stagnated, where they are now moving. And we might be experiencing more popping of the joints as we move. And I know that is associated a lot with age. I like to see it from the lens of Thai yoga or Thai medicine, Thai massage, where that's Lom. L-O-M, loam, which is wind. So we might be experiencing more wind in the joints. And usually that is the goal of Thai massage, is that we are wanting to move that loam, the wind, out of the joints, because they also detoxify themselves. And you can be at any age for this to happen. This is not just a quote old person's problem, unquote, right? This is all ages experience popping. And we might be experiencing that more as we're releasing these things. But I want to say, right, that this Five of Wands is speaking to motion being the lotion, changing things up a little bit, or reviewing things that we used to do, but maybe it fell away because we felt we didn't have the time. And maybe that curiosity again with this, because right, Uranus is speaking to reinvention, and Mars is speaking to movement, action. So to counteract the dryness, the heat, the slow mindful motion helps the body helps the connective tissue to stay pliable, to hydrate itself. And this can be done through myofascial release, qigong, tai chi, cranial sacral, melt, simple walks through the park or just in the neighborhood, restorative or yin yoga. What is the word I'm looking for? Ancestral dancings. All of these things can help to release that generational and personal trauma from the connective tissues. Keep the fascia hydrated and keep our lymph flowing, which helps with the immune system. Because we might find that, again, this overwhelm and overload of sensation and information, this would help us to process and ground even more, to be more present within the body. Chiron and Taurus most certainly would like that. So that's part 2, just wanting to mention how this movement, this mindful movement of the fascia being another way to stay hydrated as we deal with all of this air and fire over the next year and some change. And this also helps with brain plasticity, because if our fascia stays hydrated, so do then the nerve endings throughout the spine and the body. Because Leo rules the spine. Jupiter in Leo. This would be good to, a good time to help ourselves to release these nerve endings, because they can get trapped up in scar tissue that develops from long periods of time of inactivity where we don't move certain parts of the body. And over time, that fascia hardens and builds up. And then we're not getting all of the signals properly. This can also be a source of physical pain at times when these impulses aren't getting to where they need to go. Like the brain is not able to send it and or receive the information from all the places it needs to. In fact, if you really look at the Five of Wands, like the way I was seeing it, was it looks like fascia. If you ever look up a microscopic image of fascia, it looks like a spider's web. And again, thinking of Mercury territory, But yeah, it's time to play around with how we might want to stay hydrated through movement, how we can reparent ourselves through different literal choices of action, mindful movements every day can go a long way to keeping us hydrated in these times.